afternoon. Welcome to The Point, the only show to get your fix of your desired content. I'm Jennifer Huntley. For the new viewers watching, first of all, good choice, as this is a show like no other. Rather than show you the content you might enjoy, we cater to you. Yes, you. We collate stories from various sources all over Australia, and we create polls on Twitter where you get to vote what we show. Recounting last week, we had a documentary about some of the talented artists involved with Vivid 2019's attractions, the growing underground crumping scene in our clubs, and we cannot forget the 10-minute piece on the pasteurisation of dairy products. Yes, our producers were not happy with that. Anyway, let's jump right into this week's content. You guys have had your say, and with over 2,000 votes comes a documentary piece by Vanesa Paradis on horse racing. It looks like we got some punters out there, and I'm sure more than a few of you are aware of the horse Le Romain, as well as the Championship Racing Carnival at Randwick Racecourse. Luckily for you, we have an exclusive interview with Sarah Levija, the rider behind the horse. With a fancy dress code and big money on the line, it's hard to not want to get into the festivities. Please place your bets before we begin for Le Romain, the master of his domain.
Welcome you to the Royal Randwick Racecourse. In all its phantasmagoria, we are at the epicentre of true Sydney history. So once again, welcome, welcome, and welcome.
How long have you been coming to the races for?
A long time now, probably longer than I care to tell you.
Oh, really?
A fair while. My husband's very enthusiastic with horses, so I enjoy the day.
Yes, I was brought up at races and we used to own race horses. My brother-in-law was a trainer, so yeah, long time.
Oh, probably about 4 or 5 years now.
Every year you come?
Every year.
We're up here for the Everest and then up here for the Derby last year as well.
David saddled her up. This is the back up. Like saddle the other day.
Lee Romain is a 6-year-old gelding. I first met with him when he first came here to the track group scene in 2016 for the Hobart Bill Stakes. That's when he was a rising 3-year-old. He's absolutely gorgeous. As you can see, he's very relaxed here in the back, waiting for the race. Coming to the races is a habit for him. He's completely in his own element. Le Romain's mother's name is Mignard. Mignard was a famous painter who also had a brother that shared the same name. To distinguish the two artists from each other, the public gave one of the brothers the name Le Romain, and that's why we came to calling him Le Romain. I was very lucky enough to be able to purchase a share. My son's godfather bred Lee Romain and sold a few shares to a group of friends, and we were lucky enough to secure one.
What's the most exciting part of going to the races, do you find?
Well, I'm actually a milliner, so voila.
Oh, wow! Yeah,
so I make my own hat, so
Very nice.
dressing and doing the whole look for the day is always very exciting.
The fashion.
Look black and white.
Yeah, no,
Look
looks
white
good.
being black and white when you can be sparkling.
Exactly.
I owned racehorses for about 10 years now. Prior to that, I just liked watching them on TV and patting them occasionally if I got the chance. It's a complete dream. We were just hoping that he'd even win a race, even in the country or provincial. To have him race in the city on a Saturday and win is unbelievable. And to be able to travel to Melbourne or Brisbane or wherever it is, he always gives his all, and we're so proud to be able to watch him. I feel it is a natural gift that he's got. He's always shown that he's got an eye and intuition for racing. But I think under Chris Leese's help and the help of his staff, they've really helped encourage this gift for it to blossom like it has. Not at his peak yet. I think the best is still yet to come. And I think with a lot of horses, if you treat them well, when they get to an older age and they mature, that's when you see their best. He raced Winx last spring and he did come second to Winx. So he's come second to Winx twice, which to us, that's like winning. Winx is there's no nice way of saying it. She's a freak. She's a one-in-a-lifetime horse. To be able to come second to the best racehorse in the world it's a dream. Like around about this time I get very nervous. I know that he will give it his best, and if everything goes well, there's some things that you cannot control in the race, but he is at his best today. He's all ready, and we've just got to wait and let him do his thing and see how it all pans out.
Here comes the hot stepper. I'm the lyrical gangster. Big up the crew in the area. Still love it like that.
And what's the most exciting part of the races for you?
When you win. Losing's probably my least favourite thing, but yeah, when you get the win. So.
Boss, great news! The budget bill for the school just passed.
Fan-bloody-tastic. 2 hours into my work and I'm already crushing it.
Boss, the budget for this year's salary increase didn't go through.
I'll take care of this. You three. Work harder.
Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
I have to be honest with you. I had no interest in the sport of horse racing, but after watching this, I'm in the mood to put on my best dress and burn a hole in my wallet. Not that we openly endorse gambling, of course. Now, this is an interesting pick from you guys. Coming in second with 1,600 votes is the history of La Perouse, known for its beaches and breathtaking sights. But have you ever thought about the history behind its name? No? Yes, but too lazy to Google it? Worry not, because we have the scoop here. Created by former local Patrick Matijevic, it is an amazing story, the story of Jean-Francois La Perouse and the beautiful place it is named after.
La Perouse, a suburb nestled on the southeastern shores of Sydney, a place that many people from all over the world flock to. It's home to Bear Island, the Macquarie Watchtower, and some of the most beautiful beaches in the world. There is also the La Perouse Museum in the middle of the peninsula. But just where does the name La Perouse come from?
This museum sits on a layered hotspot of history.
One of the most remarkable things about La Perouse and his expedition was the distance they travelled.
The golf course here was actually the site of 800 homeless men, women and children in the 1930s. Ironically, it was called Happy Valley. It had a name that's older than La Perouse. It was known as Gurrawal, with the traditional owners who were originally the Kamiagal and the Murra-Ora-Dial and are now the Bidjigal and Gadigal people.
The thing about France and Europe in the 18th century was that the poor were very poor. They died very young, they had no rights, and many countries were competing to discover new places and vast wealth.
A French navigator and explorer by the name of Jean-François de Gallo de la Perouse was born in 1741 near Albi, a town in southern France.
La Perouse had fought in Canada. He had actually helped raid some forts owned by the British, but had also left the food there over winter. So the king also noticed his humanity as well as his bravery. So he chose La Perouse to lead this scientific expedition and ended up here at Botany Bay.
After an agreement was signed between the French, the British and their allies in 1775, he bought a small property in the country in Mauritius. La Perouse hinted in a letter to his sister, Jaquette, that he was in love with a person on the island. La Perouse's father had no wish to see his son marry a middle-class girl. A few weeks later, he married Eleanor in Paris in 1784. When he was formally told of his appointment, it was a moment for both rejoicing and sadness, for they would be separated again.
La Perouse left Brest on the 1st of August 1785. They were to explore the North and South Pacific. He then sailed to Japan and Russia. It was there Louis XVI asked for a report to date on the scientific exploration.
Since ice would soon close the port for months, they had only one option that would keep the documents under French control. It was to send them overland with Barthélemy de Lesseps.
He delivered his reports to the French ambassador, but was summoned by Louis XVI to personally deliver them in Paris. Captain Hunter helped those two French ships anchor in the bay. La Perouse said, "I'll give you my stock and provisions." It was very fortuitous that the British and the French had become such good friends, because otherwise we would never have known about his expedition.
After Botany Bay, the broad itinerary for La Perouse was known from letters and documents taken to Europe by Lieutenant John Shortland.
Tu apprendras assez tôt, mon cher ami, que nous avons encore éprouvé des grands malheurs. Le vicomte de l'Angle, le chevalier de la Manon ont été assassinés par des sauvages auxquels nous avons fait tout le bien possible et qui nous avaient marqué la plus grande bienveillance. Je t'ai écrit de tous les coins. J'espère que cette lettre ne me précédera que de quelques mois. Tu me prendras à mon retour pour un vieillard de 100 ans. Je me flatte d'être plus heureux à l'Île-de-France où je dois arriver à la fin de cette année. Dis à Madame Mollet que je ne lui ai pas écrit parce que mes messages n'auraient eu aucun intérêt pour elle, et elle sait très bien que je préfère un petit coin de la rue de Montorgueil à ce vaste globe que je sillonne depuis 3 ans. 1000 choses à toutes les personnes de la famille, hommes et femmes, à toute la société de Madame du Mollet. Ne m'oublie pas auprès de Madame Pourrat. Adieu, adieu jusqu'au mois de juin 1789. La Pérouse, à bord de la boussole de la baie de Botanique, le 7 février 1788.
By the end of 1789, there was still no news of La Perouse. 2 store ships, named Search and Hope, set out from France in 1791. They found no sign of the ships or La Perouse.
Unfortunately, they never got beyond the Solomon Islands because of a terrible storm that took down both ships in 1788. The king didn't know what happened to his favourite explorer. In fact, nobody did.
The Irish Pacific trader discovered French relics among the Polynesian inhabitants of Tikopia. He learned they had been retrieved from an island called Vanikoro. Captain Dumont d'Urville confirmed the find in 1828 on his journey through the Pacific.
De Lesseps was the only survivor.
Eleanor Brudeau died childless in 1807 at the age of 52.
Hey, Johnny. Hey! Over here, you cue ball. Are you tired of all the bald jokes, John? Are you sick of people using you as a personal mirror? And people slapping your head as they walk by? Well, my slick bald friend, you're in for a delightful treat. There you go, Johnny. Now you're a real man. We are so proud of you. Good luck with your new hair. Le creme de hair, your one and only true shot of true happiness. La Creme Enterprises is not responsible for any irritation, skin rash, headaches, nausea, explosive diarrhea, chest pain, muscle spasms, insomnia, blindness, loss of ability to walk, murderous tendencies, case of death, and faulty results. Use it.
Oh, I just got chills watching the ghost of Le Perouse. Such a shame what happened to him. Though it's nice to learn about the history of places like these. I didn't know anything about the place before, but now I feel like I have a better understanding of it. Our world has so much to offer, and the history of this is just fascinating. Almost makes me cry. Almost. Now moving to our trademark segment, What's the Point? From the cascade of replies you send to us at the point every week, we pick random ones and answer them. There's so many, we print off sheets of these comments, pin them to a corkboard, and just throw darts at them. It's more fun that way. Lucky first, here is the tweet by Harry Barry. How many submissions do you get for your show, and what's the most interesting one that you wish was shown? During the week, we get around 20 to 50 different submissions, which myself and the production team go through. Some of them are poorly made or just plain boring, so we reject those. But the ones that pass our criteria are kept in rotation for future episodes. Unique cases like the story on Vivid last week, we prioritise for the poll since they are current events. Though if the story was dull or badly produced, we still wouldn't show it. We have standards. As for the second part of your question, there was one promising story, but it was horribly shot. It was about a family of farmers who raised both farm animals and stray pets. They rescue them from pounds and the street and care for them. It was such a unique story, packed with so much heart, but we had to reject it. Anyway, thanks Harry Barry for the question. The next one we have lined up is a common question we get, and it's about time we answer it. This is from OnPoint123. Where did the inspiration from the show come from? P.S. Mum and Dad told you I'd make it on TV. Well, the idea for the show originally came from the creators wanting to bring in a unique interactive element to the variety show. After much trial and error on formatting the show and pitching it to many, many studios, they finally made it to where it is now. Hope that answers your question on OnPoint123. Don't know how your parents are going to recognise you with a name like that. The next one we have is from The Luscious Buses. Hi Jennifer, I'm a big fan. I really enjoyed the story a couple of weeks ago called The Three Piglets. It was so adorable to see them grow up from cute tiny things. I was wondering if you knew where the farm was located because I forgot. I'd love to go visit them. If not, that's okay. Oh, I remember that one. If I remember right, it was some slaughterhouse near Wagga Wagga. Quite the trek no matter where you're coming from. My advice, if you want to see them, better go quick. before you know. Moving on. This tweet by Luke Howard, 1972, asking, how much is Vegemite at Coles? $5. Hope that helps. We've got this one from Molly Ranger, 420. Hey, just wanted to say I watch your show every week and the reruns, and in my opinion, your writing is lacking in some aspects. If you're looking for a writer, I have been writing for many, many years in the genre of fantasy erotica. Here is the link to my Wattpad and fanfiction.net profiles. Okay, let's stop there. Thank you for the praise, and if you want to contact us professionally, just refer to our website at www.thepointsydney.com.au. We really should read these before going to air. Thanks to all those comments, interesting comments. It is heartwarming for us to see all the support and questions. Now back to our programs for the day. Runner-up third, just scratching 1,000 votes, is Kino by Lorena Biascotti. It is an international organisation based on creating short films which started as a result of the Y2K hysteria. You know, the event where everyone thought the economy was going to collapse because computers couldn't count past 99. Anyway, this caused a group of Canadians to go all out and create a bunch of short films before the collapse of society. It never came, but afterwards they realised they had something with this. They established Kino with the ethos, do well with nothing, do better with little, but do it now. They hold monthly screenings of short films created by small-time creators and hold various projects just to get people making movies. Without further ado, here's Kino Sydney.
Kino is a place where you can just meet all these cool and creative people, and you go and you just like get so much support.
I'm submitting an animation tonight, which is like a 1 minute, pretty much like almost like a why did the chicken cross the road kind of thing, but it's a dinosaur in this case.
I think the key point of difference with Kino is that it's not competitive. It's a place where people can come together safely and create for its own sake. You're not competing with anyone else, and you're not trying to force your film to fit a certain criteria or what you think the judges are going to like. It's just about making something that you like, your friends like, or trying some new technique out, or working with new actors. It's just a way for you to create something, to screen it in front of an audience, and just to see how they respond. That passion of just creating something for its own sake is vital to creating something that's original and that's actually interesting to watch, rather than trying to adhere to any kind of commercial incentive or a prize at the end of the road.
Hey Jeff, I just wanted to show you
my fucking guide for the millionth goddamn time! How hard is it? Just a fucking... Hey, cuss it. Looking sharp, my man. What do you need?
Yeah, I honestly thought it was a joke when I bought these, but ever since my manager saw them, he's like so much nicer. He's a dick most days.
Ah! Oh, fuck's this shit. Ah!
Maybe he's got bipolar. What?
You have to respect Kino for what they do. It helps a lot of keen filmmakers, don't you think? Now this pick has a different tone from the others. Coming up with 900 votes are the Children of Finland Fighting in Norway, otherwise known as Coffin, submitted by their fellow friend and fan Joey Lane. For those not in the know, they are a 5-piece band made of Ben, Abijah, Artie, Aaron and Loz. From our very own northern beaches here in Sydney, they have grown their punk rock music with their non-stop progress, performing many gigs and tours, reaching so far as performing internationally. Their music is hard-hitting but transparent in their message. Hold on to your seats, this is Coffin. What a way to finish this week's show. Coffins sure know how to raise the roof, literally in some of those clips. It never ceases to amaze me, the content that we get and the selection you all choose to watch. I keep asking myself, how will we top this from next week? Going from horses to sea voyages, on the budget films to Aussie punk rock music. Incredible. I would like to thank all the creators who have submitted their content, our talented crew, and of course all of you watching today. I'm Jennifer Huntley. Until next time on The Point.